and it'll trigger that lovely logo animation. CardKingdom.com is where you can find everything you need for your Magic play, whether it's boosters, singles, selling your own stuff for store credit, for cash. Maybe you need supplies. Maybe you're in Seattle and you need a place to hang out. If you're coming in for the GP, for the Magic Fest, make a point to check out Mox Boarding House Seattle or Mox Boarding House Bellevue. They're fantastic locations. And I believe this is still going. I'm going to show it as though it is, because as long as, yeah, it's not out yet. There is, if you pre-order, if you spend $25 and buy some Modern Horizons sealed product in that $25, well then, you are going to get a sticker set that I'll show you right here. Popular Modern deck stickers, so you can throw those on your deck boxes or your binders or your laptops. Any place you want to put a sticker. You can put this humans sticker on your toddler's forehead. That's an option. Anyway, they're cool. I like that. Thanks, Card Kingdom. Ubermensch asking, were arena-only cards talked about? I mean, digital-only cards are always talked about. They have to be... It depends on how popular digital gets, frankly. If the tail starts wagging the dog that way, and by that I just mean you got all these talented designers in paper focusing on the paper game. If you're going to do digital only, you're cutting out a huge portion of your audience for that card. So it has to make sense in the context of the project and the effort that you're undertaking. Tolsimir, Friend of Wolves, seems like a great place to start. Don't love green-white, but I love green anything, which we could start down the path towards. And if we end up green-white, often at least it's wide open. Yes, you can suggest, and speaking of that, I'm going to go here for this. Valhalla, that's why you put the sticker on, is to help them deceive the world. But anyway, let's start with this rare and see where Tolsimir heads. See if we can follow up successfully on that, or just ignore it and take the best card out of this pack, which could be a Spellgorger Weird. We could just take Trusted Pegasus, though, and embrace our first pick. I don't really like Pollenbright Druid or Snare Spinner enough to be taking them here, so I either want to take a Laptop Reaver and go towards green-black Splash White, or Toll for a similar purpose, or Spellgorger Weird, which doesn't really fit this pick to be that great, to be honest, and so that kind of makes me want to either just say Pegasus or black cards, but I certainly like green-black Splash better than I like green-white, so that makes me want to take a black card. Ubermensch is asking, were there talks about starting a movie or show while you were there, or is that news to you? This specific effort is news to me, but there's all sorts of irons in the fire that Wizards was looking to do, and they always are. They always were. They were the whole time. I mean, that's not like secret insider information. Companies with major brands are always looking for things to do to broaden their reach and expand that brand. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Reaver. And then we got a Spark Harvest. Maybe this New Horizons comes around. I wouldn't mind this Epiphany or the Mowu, but with the Laptop and Spark Harvest, I think you're just going to take the Spark Harvest here. And we can be ready to abandon Tolsimir too. Like here, I just Jace's Triumph leaps out at me as the best card in the pack by quite a bit, with Pollenbright Druid being okay. I don't know if I want to just take a Pollenbright Druid to stay on the Tolsimir plan here. I think we just take the Jace's Triumph and see where that goes. I love the Giant. I don't feel the need to take it here. I feel like we end up with chances at a couple of them later, and we don't want a glut of 6s or anything. So that's why I'd rather, and we're early in the draft. So I'm going to lean into the rarer, not that it's rare, but the rarer, more powerful card, and see where that goes. Not loving anything in this pack. We're way too late to be even considering something like a 10th District Legionnaire, even if I did like it. Oh, there's Amazon's doing a Wheel of Time project. The pilot itself is 23 episodes. Yeah, this is probably just Spark Reaper. I was looking around hoping to find something else, but whatever. There's nothing better than the Spark Reaper here. Then I got talking about movies. Contentious Plan is okay if we do end up in blue. It's not really doing as much in like a blue-black as it is in a blue-red, but it's not worthless. We could take an Iron Bully, knowing that it could end up anywhere. Or these are both just so replaceable. I have a hard time prioritizing anything here. I don't think we're going to play much of anything. Yeah, I guess we take the Bully. I've come up a little on the Bully, but I don't really like this card. Raptors wants the Plan. I'm kind of almost with Raptor on the... Like, this is so, again, replacement level to me, unless I'm specifically trying to proliferate. But then again, this is also replacement level unless I'm specifically trying to proliferate. But if we do try to proliferate, we'll take... I'd rather have Plan than Bully. Let's do that. Bully is a body, but Plan replaces itself. I mean, a body is a poor argument. Sorry, I know what you mean, but if it's a bad body, even a bad body can matter. I was just thinking about that actually in terms of Dominaria draft and how many like 1/1 artifacts for 1 that die into a +1 counter, or the assistant, the 1/1 blue flyer for 1, the 1/1 first strike flyer for 2. There's all these bad bodies in Dominaria that people seem to play that just do nothing relevant that I don't like in that format. Here, hey Colin, thank you for that sub. What are we doing here? We're kind of leaning in, we're heading more towards blue-black here. We haven't really gotten much support for Tolsimir since. We could take a Dam Breaker or an opportunity. All this stuff tends to come late. I think it's between Dam Breaker and Sky Theater. This isn't really a Dread Malkin deck, so do we want the 2 or the 6? The 6 is much better, but the 2 is you'll play more of these than you will of these. It's not really a Strix deck though. We're a Strix deck. Like, I tend to only want the Sky Theater Strix in red-blue spells, or I should say I've only ended up playing it in red-blue spells. And Dam Breaker I'll play in more of anything, so that's a consideration as well. Crowd seems to lean towards the Strix, so I'll go that way, but I'm a little wary. I think this might be the better pick, but we'll see where this goes. Here's a Tidebearer Giant I can get behind a little better here than I think the finisher is. I'll take first Giant over first finisher. Yeah, and there you go. Right on cue, Colin, right? All right, well, here's a bunch of mediocre stuff. We could conceive of putting 5 of these spells in our deck. I think this is a fading memory now, but I'm going to leave it there out of stubbornness. If we just get a unreal load of green in the next pack, like, here's the thing. I don't care too much about this, and this is just so-so too. So if we think of our deck as this is why I don't want to get rid of Tolsimir. We might still actually be green, depending on where this goes. And with that, I either think I want to take Shriek Diver, Bully, or Silverwing. We're not going to take Strix here. We're going to take something that we know is going to go in a black deck. And price for the board is okay, but I barely ever bring it in. Like, I'm literally only bringing this in against basically rare planeswalkers. This is bad against the uncommon planeswalkers and is okay against the rare ones because at least they get rid of it. They got some value out of it, but you got to get it off the board. The uncommons just don't have that feel to them, and so I wouldn't mind it for the board, but I'd rather have a main deck Shriek Diver. Yeah, and that's sure. You can also bring it in against a big amass strategy, but amass tends to be the remainder on cards as well, so you're also spending a card. If you got to, you got to, but it's not exciting to me. I'm going to take the Shriek Diver. This is a fantastic sign for us. This kind of is, but not really our thing anyway, but Toll being here is fantastic. Here's that New Horizons that also wheeled. That's interesting. We're going to take that, and again, we're not necessarily out of green yet, to the point that these two mediocre cards represent a real pick for us here. If we do green-black, we have the New Horizons. We may also, if we end up green, we lose a lot of our picks, and we may be struggling for playables and end up playing something like Crocodile. Colin, I only ever play the Crocodile if I'm desperate. I've only ever played the Crocodile when desperate or when specifically doing a go big proliferate plan, and frankly, mostly desperation. Yeah, you never play the Croc, but sometimes play the Twist. But if we end up... Yeah. All right, fine. I'll take the Twist. But I think I'm trying to find a way to lean back here. Like, I'm not really happy with our blue. There's nothing really much going on in our blue. And if we get the 5-color fixing, like New Horizons, we can splash both Tolsimir and Jace's Triumph and let the weak blue go, you know? So I am looking in that direction. All right, let's see if Pack 2 clarifies things for us. Maybe the rare slot? No. Not even. Although this is interesting and suggesting splash Skydiver and Triumph in a black-blue, or black-green there. Maybe we wheel the Globe. That would be nice. We could gem it up here. Oh yeah, there's Band Together. Sorry, I missed that. And there's nothing blue, and well, there's Taskmaster. I think it's Taskmaster or Band Together. We know we're black, so we could just take the Taskmaster and be pretty happy with that pick. On the rare drafting front, I'm trying to find my line, and I'm losing confidence in where the line is exactly, because you know we have our graph that we've been using that puts it at about 1% at best, because this is best of 3, so the bar goes up, right? The rare drafting, it gets even better in best of 3 because we have 3 chances to use our superior skill, ostensibly, to win matches. Yeah, it might just be a rare draft spot because nothing here is essential. I've been taking uncommons when it's an essential synergy pick, Colin. Like, yeah, this is removal. That's great. But when you find it, you get a 1-for-1, and maybe it swings the game towards victory. Certainly removal is important. But the ones that tend to just wildly overperform when you get and cast them is something like Flux Channeler. Like if we were in red-blue, well, and this were a off-color rare, and there was a Flux Channeler, I think you can make a good argument that Flux Channeler would produce more gems than the rare. But in this spot, I'm hemming and hawing here. I'm going to take the gems.
Fire, huh?
I'm going to take a gem pick. Plane-wide Celebration is a gem pick, and we can actually just ramp to that. I think that's just good. So it looks like we're green. And of course, a great blue card shows up there. We could take Obnix. I still think Obnix has some play. We've got a mass going on, which is one of the big thing, you know, toll and laptop lead to a mass potential. We could also take the Rescuer Sphinx and maybe not be green. Yeah, could we be green, you splashing, yeah, maybe. Splashing Spark Harvest. I mean, I think we should take the Sphinx here. Sphinx is just like cleanly the best card, unless we also, well, we can take Wanderer's Strike to support that white splash as well. But yeah, I think we're still muddled here. Thought we had gotten some clear direction toward green-black, but then that shows up. We'll take Spark Harvest here. Hopefully we wheel these globes. I don't know if we're going to wheel this globe at pick 4, but we hopefully wheel that. I think it was pack 1 had a globe in it. Okay, decision time. What are we doing, people? I mean, we're Sultai, but what's our base color? We're not 666 mana base, right? You're right. I'm in complete agreement. I just thought it was funny that we had this. Are we blue black? Are we black blue or black green? And we had to answer right now. All right, I'm with you, Sprout. There's a globe or another Spark Harvest. Yeah, I guess we have to take the Spark Harvest and hope we just pick up some other fixing. Okay. Take another toll. Hey, Globe. We were talking about you. Get in our deck. All the tolls. I think we'll take this, or well, you can take this in case we need to bring it in. Yeah, I guess there were. This is an equally interesting board choice. 2/2 for 2, not super exciting, but if they're showing a bunch of aggro 2-drops or whatever, you love being able to bring in something like this. But like, I actually think that's probably more likely. It's probably more likely that we're trying to get defensive against an aggro deck than we are going to find an artifact or enchantment we want to deal with. It's close though. I'll take this. Wow. All right. Well, we have the right baseline deck colors, I think. Chandra saying, still here for the gems. We take 2. We only have 1 own. This would be a time to go and make some Chandras. Let's take this and go make Chandras.
You want to go, tough guy?
More removal, or maybe we're done with removal and just need another Reaver. But I'm going to go, let's see, do we have anything? We have Tulsimir, Plane-Wide Celebration, Tulsimir, and Chandra are what we're going to go and take a look at here. We're already there on Tulsimir. Looks like we have no Chandras. I guess not. This is the one, right? Yes. Craft those. And then what was the other one? Plane-Wide? Sure. Let's do this too. Yep, got our Chandras taken care of. Okay, where were we here? We can get a Vizier of the Scorpion, another Reaver, more removal. Obviously, this is like some of the best removal, but we have literal 4 Spark Harvest and 3 Tolls to feed the Spark Harvest with army tokens. Kind of just want the Reaver here. It's what we need most, right? And we're doing pretty good on 2s, but we're not doing this, or this, and these thirsts we hope to cut. So actually we do, yeah, we need 2s. Let's get our Reaver on. Could splash Greeting. Could splash the Wanderer. We're already looking to splash the white. Also, some of our... This is one of the only fixers in the set that is basic land-based and not add any color-based. So this one actually forces us to try and choose maybe what we're splashing. We're probably not splashing Rescuer Sphinx in this world. Yeah, that's a good point. Why am I worried about removal? I'm just looking at best cards, you know. I don't think we're going to play this. I'll leave it in there for now. So maybe we just want Guild Globe then. Or even Ceratok. We don't have much going on at the big end, and we're in pack 3, so that's a little concerning to me. And we've got a Tithe Bearer and a Celebration. I do want to fill out this area of our curve, though, a little more, but I think this is a good globe spot. We get a 4th Toll to go along with our 4th Spark Harvest, but Snare Spinner fits the job we're talking about of needing 2s. I don't hate the notion of ramping, but it's just, this is too oppressive to try and ramp with this. It's not ramp, actually. It is card advantage, though. Sorry, not ramp. I like the card advantage aspect of this, but it's just too oppressive in its cost. We're not playing a 3rd Soren's Thirst if we're even playing either of the first 2, so we're going to take a Stinger here. Yeah, Grazer is ramp, but not ramp we're going to play. That is fair. How many Spark Harvests is too many Spark Harvests? I mean, with 2 Laptop Reavers and 3 Toll of the Invasions, I'm pretty cool with another Spark Harvest. Like, we have enough, but what else are we doing here, Colin? Another Shriek Diver? Shadow Feud? Landing? Like, why do you want, like, we're going to get landing for the board so that we can deal with flyers? You know what deals with flyers? Is Spark Harvest. Let me do that. I'm going to run 5 Spark Harvests and see what happens. We'll take this or this. Maybe we just want, with all of our removal, we don't need to worry about the air. Let's just get some beef. That's not totally, I mean, you're joking somewhat, but yeah, having answers to Kefnet is not the worst. You can take this one, though. Or we can take Operative here. Again, are we really bringing in Forced Landing, or would you rather have the ability to bring in extra 2-drops? We have all the removal. We don't have much card draw. We're definitely going to play this Jace's Triumph. If you have all the removal in the world, it still won't, cannot matter if you just lose the attrition battle. It's like, yeah, you drew a bunch of removal, but I drew more spells than you, and so here's my creatures that are left. They're killing you. Whereas if you draw cards, then you get to win the attrition battle. I don't think you're right, Colin. We have Laptop Reavers and Tolls that are going to produce lots of fodder, and when we get to 5, we just hardcast them, and it's fine. People want to take... I just feel like taking this because we're afraid of maybe a god is wrong over taking this facing what is a common strategy. Like, this is to answer a mythic we're afraid of this answers a whole bunch of strategies that can pressure us. Don't need the bacon. Cast our double Chandra. Maybe unlikely aid. That's unlikely to see play. So let's take Silverwing, yeah. I don't want to play any of these. Is there a world in which I could bring this in? Because no, because we have just too much good flying removal. I'm just never going to worry about flyers that much. Malkin might make the cut here. I like it in red, black, sacrifice aggro. I find just picking off our army tokens to get bigger isn't really worth it here, especially when we have 5 Spark Harvests that we're looking to leverage army tokens against. However, it is Vault Progress, if nothing else, so I'm gonna take it. It has all sorts of fodder, but we can't use our fodder on everything. So here you go. Here's another choice of sideboard card or more 2s. Not quite as narrow, but it's close. I doubt... we'll take it, but I doubt we ever bring it in. Yeah, they specifically need to, like, show a bomb. And here we go. 4 tolls, 5 harvests. Are we just... are we doing it? $80 gems on the grind. That's not bad either. Not playing you. Let's see where our starting totals are. Only 11 creatures so far. WinCon is Plane-Wide Celebration, or Tolsamir. I'm going to start Stinger in the board. One Thirst at least. Probably both Thirsts, if we're honest. Yeah, we're a little heavy at 5, but some of those are 1s. 10, 15. Do we cut one? Cut a toll? I kind of just like moving in on this strategy, that's the thing. Cut a Shriek Diver. And maybe we have to give it up and cut 1 Spark Harvest. Is that crazy, or do we just run them all? Yeah, we just never need price. That was a fine pick for Vault Progress, but I just don't think we're ever bringing that in. Why would we bring it in with 5 Spark Harvest? We're going to bring in the 5th Spark Harvest, because we might bench one of them here. We got Death Sprout, 5 Harvests, and we could take 1 Toll, I suppose. Yeah, Organic Chicken and I thinking along the same lines. I think this is just Toll of the Harvest. Oh, here, I should have been up here during deck building, but... What do you think of that? Oh, let's check mana here. I guess we could have 1 each of the basics, but I really don't want to play 2. What's more important? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 fixing for 1 color and 3 for the other. If we don't... Yeah, that's true. We cut the planes because this we might want to do earlier. Right, that's what I'm talking about, GRS, is that do we, because we have 1, 2, 3 cards that are going to fix for white without the planes. If we include the planes, suddenly we have 5, because you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you don't include it, you only have 3. Hey, thanks for the sub. It has. It's crazy that it's been 6 months. What have I done with my life? Somebody explain this to my mom. Anyway, that's the question. Are we willing to reduce our access to black and green to give us 5 sources each for white and blue, or do we accept 3 sources of, say, white to up our green-black? Well, 7511, we get to add land is the thing. This would actually be like this. Or even like that. Oh, and then we get one more. So we could even do that, or maybe that. Yeah, we need to, this is our land count here. We need to get one more in. I'm just trying to get, yeah, we need double black, quote, more than green, but a single green is a double black in a lot of cases here. So you like 0188? I think this is doable. We may get punished for the double splash basics, but double globe, we'll be fine. We're gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Nantuko wonders if splashing the Triumph is worth it. Maybe not. As I was saying, I really like drawing cards when I have a lot of removal. It makes sure that if you're just, it's not actually all that powerful necessarily to sit around trading 1 for 1 if you don't end up with more spells. If they outdraw you, then great, you removed everything. Now you're flooding out and they dropped a couple of creatures and you're dead. That's my worry. That's why I really like card draw and I'm willing to splash for it. Perhaps it is incorrect and we could just add in the 4th toll, remove the Triumph, and remove the blue. But that's at least my reasoning. I think I'll start with it and we'll see how it goes. But we can consider that change and see how we feel when we draw the Triumph and whether it's doing what we want. And I'm going to try this mana configuration. Oh yeah, now we are in... There's nothing else. We could add another Shriek Diver. We could Jund with the Chandras. That's true. I took these as gems, but we can consider... you know, then I think we have to like bail. Well, maybe you could do something like... Sorry, this build is taking a while, but it's somewhat of a critical one. You could do that and just try to cast Tulsimir off of the 3 options and cast Chandra. But Chandra, the trouble is Guild Globe alone doesn't cast the Fire Artisan. That's my problem here. If Guild Globe alone splashed Chandra successfully, I think we could do it, but it doesn't. Or if we had like 3 New Horizons, we could do it, but we don't. So that makes me out on the Chandra plan. And back in on this plan. Yeah, it's a funky deck, but I think it can get there. We just did check the Jund. I don't like the Jund because the Chandras are not splashable off the globes. All right, let's see what it does, and I'll get my info back up. Up to date, that is. Let's see, we are on free to play. We are on War Best of 3. Hey, Bruce. What's up, Boppo? Oh, sorry. Then I've turned off the stuff here. Here you go. Now it's all correct. Some blue-black action. Do we want to toll them here or just Spark Reaper? I'm gonna toll. Like, we could get a 3-drop that really disrupts what they want to do. Or Kasmina. I like that. We'll just play around, no escape. If they leave no escape up, I'm just going to give them a Spark Reaper. They're going to get something sometime. Or we can just toll here. That works too. Yeah. Wow, they're nowhere near Lily, but I'm going to be a chicken. We have a Spark Harvest. Maybe I should just let him have Lily. Maybe the real problem is what they can do here. We can play the globe and not give them anything for this no escape. And then next turn they probably have to, like, totally lost the army. I'm gonna do globe. Hey, we even found a land to play, and now I am gonna give them the Spark Reaper. They can have the Spark Reaper. Well, I mean, we could fight that. If they totally lost it, that's fine with us. If they transmute it, well, we still end up with a 3/3, and then we can sack it to Spark Harvest. Not sure we want to give him just let him just transmute. It's pretty low value. Definitely gonna play this. I'm kind of just wanting to bait everything they're doing with the flyer. I also don't want to get told myself and lose Tulsimir. But let's start with the Silverwing. We get to see what they have coming. We'll know a lot of their hand. And yeah, hopefully they use up some of their resources that they're showing here to just mess with this Silverwing for a little bit, or they take a turn to actually get on board for real, and it's something that we can get. We're just all tolls all the time. And I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to actually take the transmutation because I don't care if they... Well, let's see. Totally Lost does get rid of the token. Lets them kill a token. Transmutation, at least you get to keep the thing and you don't lose a draw step. And a 3/3... Yeah, Well, our creatures have fine ETBs, but our tokens don't. I mean, they just get to kill a token. So... Alright, we'll take the mutation. And I'm going to wait on Spark Harvest. We could do it now or whatever, but we'll see. Maybe they do something else. And with the cost of Tolsimir, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? It's 5. So we even have Tolsimir plus Spark Harvest next turn if we want it. Yeah, there's another ETB that we like. Let's see. And also, I'm going to send in with both. If they don't Totally Lost here... No, I'm just going to send in the Silver Wing. Never mind. I was going to attack with both, and then we have Tolsimir to fight the Overseer, but that's assuming that Oppo does everything we want them to do. And the trouble is they have 5 mana and a Totally Lost open to mess with all of that, so I'm just not going to... I'm not going to tussle with... in that way with an opponent who has access to Totally Lost. And we can just play the Tidebearer Giant here and make him solve that. You know, if they drew a counter, okay, you get a counter, but there's nothing great for them to Totally Lost here. They can get the Silver Wing, and it's not amazing. That's fine. Don't mind that at all.
Glad to be your apparitions come in many shapes.
We have a plan for that. Now, I like this a lot. We're gonna go, ooh. See if we... Here's what we can attack Kaya, they block with the Overseer, and then Tolsimir gets to finish off the Overseer, and then we still have a black left over, but then we would have to sack a token, our wolf token, to get Kaya. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to... Actually, I think we Laptop Reaver... We Spark Harvest and then Reave. Or we can just Spark Harvest... I could play Reaver, but we could also just hardcast the... Although this globe is one of our answers to cast Jace's Triumph, so we don't want to just sack that willy-nilly. It does have some use for us later. So I think Spark Harvest... Sacking... a creature. I want to get rid of this Kaya now, so I'm going to do this and get rid of Kaya. And then I got to decide whether we want to sack the globe to make this Reaver. I know if I play this, we're going to just draw Jace's Triumph. And we could cast Tolsimir for no value. They're out of cards. Let's not be greedy. I wanted to fight with Tolsimir, but... I'm fine with 5 mana for 6/6 across 2 bodies. When they're out of cards like that, we just want to take over with our advantage here. There's a good chance of drawing the Swamp, Rob, but I didn't want to risk my whole turn on it. And if Kaya takes out the Giant, I do care. I mean, yeah, it replaced itself, but a 4/5 is just, like, very real on this board. What about the hexproof? Yeah, I mean, I knew that I was aware that we were not going to successfully fight. That was what the decision was about. In this case, if we attack in, they don't have a double. These two double blocking, a single doesn't do anything, so we can't. We do have attacks here. We can just attack in. Oh, you're answering queen. Sorry. Chat monitoring can be difficult. A celebration, you say? Well, we don't have anything to proliferate. Although we could reaver a behemoth and then do celebration, but I think we just make permanent. Let's see, what do we have? Permanent? No, we have no permanents in the yard. Gain 4, so we're just making a bunch of creatures. All right. Still seems good, and now they have a block that allows the Thunderdrake to trade 1 for a wolf, but that's fine. We're going to send in with everything and let them make their blocks, and then add 8 power and toughness to the board and see what they can do with that. Yeah, that's a good block. 1 for 1ing the Tithe Bearer. And we'll take out the army. Oh yeah, I could have gotten back the giant. I like this. I think this is going to get us there. I was like, well, next turn we'll get around it all. Instead, we get around it right now. All right, they're kind of blue-black splash white control. These tolls were very good. I kind of want to bring in another toll. Maybe even for one of the harvests. Yeah, we debated the splash of the card draw, but when you're running tons of removal, when you're like all on Spark Harvest and Tolls and Death Sprout is kind of a 2 for 1, but mostly we're on 1 for 1 removal here, and when you're heavy on 1 for 1 removal, the value of card draw just goes up immeasurably. So I'm not just throwing this in any random green-black deck because I have it. I'm putting it in this deck deliberately because of the high volume of removal we have. If I brought in the toll, take that out. I'm going to run it back. Not particularly keepable. Where's my London? We'll keep this, but it's kind of a mulligan to 5 already with these two. Maybe we can't keep this. Yikes. I think I'm going to... But God, going to 5 is just brutal. We can't cast the Spark Harvest yet, but we do have 3 tolls and 2 laptop reavers that get us there pretty quickly. So this is a bit... This could crash and burn, but I'm keeping this because winning from 5 is ridiculous, but we do have reasonable outs to turn this hand into something playable. So we're going to take it and hope. And there's a toll that I'm actually going to keep, even though we need land, because the whole plan for this deck is that by turn 3 we have a toll and land that allows us to use a Spark Harvest, so we are going to keep the toll on top. Even though that could come back to bite us if we get stuck on 2. But since what I need is land and the creation... We need a mix of land and a mass, so since we found a mass on top, we're going to keep it there. Hey Timnos, this is like black-green... removal. Black-green removal and a couple of splashes just for some card draw and a Tulsimir. Raptor wants to ship it because we can't cast anything, but sometimes you need to get lucky and draw some stuff to win, and just felt like we were more likely to win by getting lucky here and finding the tools to turn on these Spark Harvests to get us to the expensive stuff than we would going to 5. Ubermensch wants good and bad examples of using results to change patterns. Well, an easy bad example is Gambler's fallacies about whether some result is either due or hot. I have a friend, Zame, who likes to troll... Well, he likes to troll everybody, but he particularly likes to troll Zame likes to troll bad gamblers who like play roulette and are super, like, I shouldn't say bad gamblers. Zame likes to troll superstitious gamblers, and he'll go and have serious conversations with roulette players about their strategy. There is no strategy in roulette, by the way, except don't bet on the green ones. Everything else is the same. So he'll be like, all right, so the board has 12 has shown up 4 times recently. Does that mean it's hot and you should bet on 12? Or does that mean it's no longer due and you should bet on something else? You know, he'll ask people like that serious questions just to troll them. What do we want? Take out the... I actually kind of like taking out... I mean, our Spark Harvest takes out the creatures. We really more are concerned about, like, the totally lost. And we have another one. If they want to invest in the Conjurant here, we're going to Spark Harvest it. If we draw a land, we get to Toll and Spark Harvest. Now we'll take the Conjurant, since the globe isn't worth much. That's a fair point, Saratemi, but hard to act on successfully, right? All right, now we've got Spark Harvest for no cost if we want it. We're close to Tithe Bearer, close to Plain White. So, yeah, we took a risky keep, but it is stabilizing into where we wanted it to be. I don't want to use Spark Harvest on either of those, although I guess we don't want them to get Triumph back. It's effectively preventing a, yeah, either Totally Lost or Triumph is a pretty good thing to recover for the Weird. So yeah, I am going to go ahead and take out the Weird while we can. Hey, Dionysus. Yeah, we started that sealed yesterday, and I offered it to people to finish, but people were more interested in some war, and I didn't blame them. We're going to use that sealed deck that's lingering to close out the afternoon or close out the stream if we have some extra time. Nice. They got a lot of cards, but they were drawing from nothing, so if they have a counterspell, gotta make them have it. They can also go loot for it if they want. Yeah, the sealed is really bad value, which is why people like watching me do it. Most people are pretty resistant to self-correcting on that front, Ubermensch. Yeah, I got a little off track. Anyway, a terrible example of correcting based on results is saying, "Oh, well, we're playing a game where we roll a 6-sided die, and I have spots 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you have spots 5 and 6." And we roll twice, and it comes up 5 or 6 both times. And so you say, well, I want to switch. You take 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to get 5 and 6 now. That would be terrible results-based adjustments to your strategy. Having good results-based in like Magic would be, oh, this result taught me something about this card that I didn't understand before. And now that I understand that about the card, I can adjust my assessment and adjust my future decisions based on this new information. So there you go. All right. What are we doing here? We've got, again, nothing to return. My stream, is it growing? That's a good question. I mean, I gain followers, but my average viewer count is staying pretty steady, so it's hard to argue that it's growing by leaps and bounds, but we're adding on followers all the time. I'm going to attack here. Part of the reason I was waiting, I'm yammering a bit here, but we do have, if we proliferate 4 times, we could make this a 5/5, but that seems like a poor use of the card. I think we just dump this out and make a bunch of 2/2s, although the trouble is they don't do much on this board. Nonetheless, it's kind of what we got, so I'm going to do it. Is the sub count growing? No, that's another thing that's kind of staying steady. I'm not unhappy. I'm also, to be honest, I'm not putting a ton of work into growing this stream. If you all want to help by word of mouth, that's like the best thing for me is just people reporting that they're enjoying this stream to other people who might want to come check it out. The bigger fish that I have frying are worth more to me in the long run. And I got the stream set up. It's nice and steady now. I'm showing up every morning and having a good time. So I'm kind of accomplishing my goals on stream in many ways. All right, there we go. There we go. That's hilarious. Vampire, who beat a 200-card mill deck with a 60-card mill deck. No, you choose 4. No other wolves in the deck, no. But fighting this guard mage is huge. As now we can send in with all of this. We could send in here, what would they do? Eat the army token with the visionary and then either chump or take 10? Just trying to figure out if we're offering them this, because the other thing is if we don't, they double block 2/2 and we trade a 2/2 for the 1/1. No, I selected 4 times, Vaporkin. I'm not. Maybe I don't understand your. I think if you go back and look at the VOD, I distinctly clicked it 4 times. Yeah, they could have totally lost. That might hurt too. I'm gonna. Oh, I couldn't. Was that summoning sick? Oh, I had taken it off of attack. Never mind. That's fine. I was debating between these 2 choices anyway, so I'm fine with this. Oh, I see. I misunderstood the question. Yeah, there was a bounce of the tokens, if that was the question. Massacre Girl would make Vaporkin happy here. All right, we've got no less than 5 copies of Spark Harvest in the deck. 5. How about one of them right here? Come on. Well, that stinks. I think we ignore Lily and go at him. Let's see, if we attack all out... Yeah, I'm going to ignore Lily here and try to go for life total. Is that crazy? I don't think so. I think we just do that. We got 4/5, 2 3/3s, and a couple of 2/2s. We're just gonna get in there. Thing is, Lily's gonna draw him a lot of cards here, which is unfortunate. But turn these screws. All right, let's see if their draws are enough to get him out of this.
Not want not.
Get out of my way!
When you organic chicken, when you say Deathsea throws cards at you, what do you mean? Does he do giveaways? Oh, sorry, I gotta sacrifice creatures. Yes, we'll sack the tokens. That's pretty good. How about some removal? I see, so that's what I need to do. Darn it. Well, at least Lily cannot minus next turn, so we're gonna still go at face. I guess we were supposed to go at Lily, but we didn't know they were going to come up with a laptop Reaver. That's unfortunate. I mean, Lily's drawn him a million cards. And I still don't want to bring in the stupid uncommon. We got 5 Death Sparks. We just, some reason, our Spark Harvest. We used 2 of them. That's why. I'm like, where's our Death Sparks? Well, we had 2 of them, Ryan. What do you want?
Rise and shine.
I already gave him Dionysus. Like, there's going to be some amount of organic growth. I guess I don't need... Yeah, we're done here. But ultimately, it's going to take work on my part to promote the stream more. But again, it's just not my priority. I'm getting what I want out of the stream right now. And I will put more effort into it when my other irons are properly hot. But I don't want price. I just want more harvests. Because 5 isn't enough. Maybe I will find a place for the toll, though. I'm trying to find a place for this. Can't quite find it. Once I take out something like Behemoth. I think I actually will. Well, if I think of ways to leverage the kindness of my viewers, I will do so. If I think of ways to weaponize the vitriol of Vaporkin, I'll do so. Well, here's the uncomfortable splash, but we're going to keep this. All right, Oppo mulliganing this time. Come on, let's just beat this Lily. Great. With the Swamp, we can go turn 3 Reaper, and turn 4 Horizons the Reaper. Wait a second now. I want to go this. Thanks, Dionysus. I'll let you know. Unfortunately, now cannot get through the weird. And I'm not willing to harvest the weird or anything here. Now I might. Really don't want him to do that twice. And it allows the Spark Reaper to attack, so we'll do that. He just loved your words, Valhallis. This is an instant. That's nice. We're gonna play out Snare Spinner and still have... Oh, don't do that. Don't wreck me, auto tap. Why would you wreck me? Stupid wreck me, auto tap. We have Reaper activation. Do I care? What am I going to do? Death Sprout it? I could sacrifice it and draw instead. Nah, well, that's fine. We'll draw a Reaper. And yeah, I'm expecting maybe a Lily here, which is not actually that bad for us. Yeah, I could have sacked it to itself, but I'm fine redrawing Spark Reaper as opposed to drawing a card off it. Because this is one reason why we get to do this. Oh, actually, not going to redraw it if I do that. I'm okay with that, though, too. We're going to do this while our mana is here. I suppose we can get the plains just to be sure, but we don't really need it. I'm actually going to get another swamp. It's funny, I almost wanted to sandbag this swamp in case we got skin-witched. I ended up saving it, but not because of skin-witch, just because... well... Let's start here. Hey, we have good attacks next turn. Not loving our spot here. We're down to one card. They have 4, and our board isn't doing much. And one problem with this deck is we don't really have a place we're going. You know, we don't have anything amazing in here. We have Plane-Wide Celebration, we have Tulsimir. Like, how else are we even really winning? Like, we're just a little low on win cons here. We're high on removal, low on win cons. Plagiarism is stealing somebody else's words, content, or ideas and passing them off as your own. We do have card draw. I am going to play a swamp. If we draw Jace's Triumph, we're going to want to have all that land out. What are you saying, Ubermensch? 1. Deck review of archetypes performance across a set. Is that something content you're looking for? Homework has been fun. You mean this week's, or generally the idea of having it? All right, Lily, get out of there. No. And we have answers to Kaya, but we'll still take her. Still doesn't give them attacks unless they have something else. Yeah, I might have to kill the Visionary before we fall too far behind on card quality. Yeah, maybe we have to take out the Visionary now. We're going to fall behind, way behind to that. And there's the prophecy coming true here. You can load up on all the removal in the world, but if you get flooded, you're just going to lose. Congratulations, you killed a bunch of their creatures and you still lost because they just went wider than you did. Yeah, I'll even play this. Spinner is really holding the fort here. Blah. Alright, come on, deck. Give us some action of some kind. I guess that's not really action. That's wheel spinning, but we'll see if we spin into something. Shriek Diver, you say? Well, play it. All right, now we have a 2-for-1 on the army token if we want it. We'll see if we do. I'm not going to attack here. Yeah, we got all 5 Spark Harvests in. 3 of them down, 1 in hand. I think we're just going to take this one, though. We're going to give it one more turn to find some natural answers off the top of the deck that help stabilize this board. Because right now, this is the only attack they have, so... That's not great. Got rid of one looter, and they find a better one.
Learn your truth. Hone your control.
Well, hopefully they've got Lily in their hand now. Let's find Lily. No escape. Hoi. Do we have to Kasmina? Do we have to harvest the Kasmina? Or do we just need to, like... we are just up against it here. Now I'm willing to try and trade for that army token at least. Just trying to figure out if we use this Spark Harvest on Kasmina. I think no. I think we accept they get one more loot and one more 2/2, and we try to hold out from here. But our deck is facing a problem I experience pretty regularly.
Every day is a new
With the black-green deck, which is just not really finding the payoffs, not finding the huge payoff cards. They're not attacking with the Guard Mage because this becomes a 3/3 when it blocks flyers. I believe they'll attack with the Guard Mage now. Now, we can't mess around with this anymore either. Gotta do something about the army. This is all bad. All bad. All bad. I think we're gonna lose this match. Well, we beat Lily in game 1 by tolling her, and we lost to Lily in game 2, and losing to a fair game 3 here, but we're just flooding out. So, oh well. It's exactly the problem I cited. We got a lot of removal, but you can just fall behind anyway on relevant spells, and you can see why I am willing to splash Jace's Triumph in the deck. Like, yeah, I was heavy on black-green early, but now it's like, if you don't get the real payoffs, what are you doing? Like, what are we doing here? Our path to victory is pretty loose. Sketchy Chandra Splash still seems super sketchy to me. That's what we're trying to do, mama. Next game. Reaver goes a little wider, but I like Snare Spinner with a counter, so we're going to go that route. Snare Spinner into Horizons. Maybe we shouldn't try to be racing here particularly. Race or block? What do we want? Actually, I think because our top end isn't just like super amazing, our inevitability is gonna get you. I think I do want to attack here. That's my reasoning behind it. GRS. In general, I think we want to be control to red-green's aggro, but I'm not sure where we're controlling to, so I'm going to be aggro.
I take my octopus for a walk. I love to make a splash.
That's a weird use of Kiora, unless you're going to giant growth here. Okay. Okay, they were going to giant growth. Well, folks, you may be seeing the end of this stream. Because if I lose to somebody who goes turn 2 Wrangler, turn 3 Kiora, untap a forest, and cast Giant Growth for damage, I'm going to quit streaming. So, pressure's on now. Pressure is on. I am going to come at Kiora because if they find some 4-power creatures, I don't want them to keep drawing cards. Oh, and they're playing Stoneblades, so life is funny. Perfect card for them to have, of course. This is why I want to get rid of Kiora. Yeah, it'd be basically a bad lesson for them to win. Everybody puts some jank together from time to time, but not everybody goes for the face giant growth on turn 3, which is more my observation. And again, I'm not mocking anybody. I hope that Believe comes to this stream afterwards to check in on how the game went, and we can talk to Believe about what some thoughts of what cards they might not want to be playing, and how to use the cards they are playing, because that was a rookie type error, a rookie type play at least, whether you want to call it an error or not. We're going to play our biggest though, and threaten to trade with the crunch. See if we can survive one more turn without a four power creature here.
Moving.
Oh, Oppo. Now I want Oppo to come here so we can talk to them. I mean, they might even win this here, but they're not particularly playing that well. Maybe, I guess, that already had a counter on it. Didn't know. Maybe they just wanted to get a counter there still. Should have started on the crunch and then... I don't know. But that was a lot of work for us to still be able to make this trade. Correct, swim down. I'm just saying Oppo is revealing themselves to be a newer player based on their play choices. Here we get Silverwing to finish off Kiora.
Time to ebb from battle.
Yeah, I'm not. We were all newer players at once. What I want is Believe to learn that I'm a streamer and come get some help from us. And here we'll go ahead and take this trade and take 4 and try not to lose. I mean, again, we're not out of the woods here by any stretch. Oh yeah, I guess we just eat the Druid. Good call. Let's eat the Druid. It's just 1 more point of damage and gives us plenty of blockers for next turn. And this will help a lot. I think we get to cast everything here as well. So we go Tulsimir. On Wrangler. Reaver, and now we even have attacks. Let's see, this doesn't help with toughness. Not blocking with either of these, so let's send it. They've run out of steam, so you won't run out of stream. That's pretty significant, but we do have a lot to block with still. So they're going to have 9 trample, and we're just going to put a bunch of stuff on. That's 7 worth, which is enough to kill it, and this doesn't impact... Yeah, this is fine. We could do this and this even. Actually, what am I doing? Let's do this and this. We'll use the minimum power to deal with that problem. And this forces them to use this, or it's just a 2-for-1. At some point in your Magic career, Dionysus, you were worse than this opponent. We're going to turn it all sideways now. We're somewhat exposed to, like, hasty... I'm not sure what they could draw to, like, really punish us for leaving no defenses back, but I'm not going to give them extra draws. We're going to turn it sideways. Yeah, Assault Team was 4, but okay, that was just them cleverly giving up. A lot of suspect cards in this deck. Let's make sure we get this one. No offense to Oppo, who's no doubt doing their best to learn the ins and outs of optimizing limited decks. We are too. 25 years later, we are too. But we don't want to lose because we failed to put up defense, and we see what we're talking about. I don't think I'm ever bringing in Price of Betrayal, but if I had a second operative, I would bring it in. So, you know, there's that. Yeah, I think Stinger's a reasonable call here. And we just... Behemoth did some good blocking. Silverwing did some good Planeswalker attacking. But I think we cut a Silverwing. We can leave the Shriek Diver. And maybe even we cut a Spark Harvest here. I think we just want to be on the ground. And yeah, Spark Harvest or a Toll. I think I'm going to cut one Spark Harvest and leave the Tolls. And try that. But their hand was never empty. Like, Toll would have been good throughout that game. And also, I think an early Toll really slams the door for us. So I'm willing to risk some dead Tolls late for the power that they represent early. The third Toll seems dead, but the first two Tolls are going to win us the game, so that's cool. Now, let's see, we could... we're going to Toll here, although we could Harvest. But I really want to look at their hand now. We really got to look at their hand. Yeah, and that's why. We're going to take this Courage. And then we can play around everything else. So they draw another Courage, because why not, Oppo? We're going to throw both of our creatures in front of the Wrangler if they want to offer it. So we're going to take, let's see, you can Toll and Harvest this turn, so that's good too. Do that. And we'll leave him with Steady Aim. I can't attack right now, but they might have haste. I'm just going to do it. Let's just do it. Well, they get a little more aggro before it's over. We gotta watch out, or we're gonna be the dead ones. I'm gonna go ahead and Triumph here off the globe. Alright, that's much better looking. That's a lot of toughness they can throw, but we're gonna make them do it. Let's... We can trade one of our big dudes for the steady aim. Why don't we just off... Let's play the giant, draw a card. Like, if we draw a land, we get a Reaver back. Like, we're going to go ahead and use this steady aim to take out this Tithe Bearer, but then we get it back eventually with Plane Wide. It's going to be fine. As long as we find a land. We just need to... If we spend the rest of the game somehow stuck on 6, maybe we find a way to lose this, but shouldn't work that way. And we're going to do this and make this trade. And by trade, I mean trade for the trick. That was accepted. Okay, good, good. We couldn't just go Plane Wide Celebration, but I actually like Globe Behemoth here, or Globe Stinger. Stinger would get past something like if they draw another Courage in Crisis and get this to be super huge. Stinger still does the work, but this uses all our mana this turn. So I'm going to go with the Behemoth, I think. Kind of want them to offer the trade, but it doesn't matter. Here I'm going to go with New Horizons to get Behemoth out of trade range with the Bloom Hulk and Stinger. Yep, there's the dead third toll, and the game's pretty well in hand as we expected. The thing about toll is, though, it's not dead. It does make it's just the worst Grey Ogre you've ever seen. We could send in that now, and they might panic and double block. But I'm going to do that when we can follow with a Plane Wide Celebration. Actually, yeah, I'm going to wait a turn. Exactly, Timnos. Okay, so let's now start getting offensive and see what they want to do about it. And if they just take this, which they might do, we have Plane Wide Celebration to give us, let's see what we want. We want at least the Giant back. I think we can let the Reaver go, though. Although, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I might as well get the Reaver and spread out. Rather than a 2/2, we might as well get the Reaver and cast it. So we're going to get 2 2/2s. And we're going to make sure they leave us with the right stuff. So a 2/2, a 2/2, return, return. Tithe Bearer Laptop. And shut down defense. Yikes. Would I consider playing a few hands of poker on stream? Probably not. I don't even know how it works in Washington anymore. It's like way against the law and stuff, and I don't know. We'll block that, and let's just double chump. Well, let's see. We could take 4. Actually, let's do this. Right? And then they get 2 of these 3. They get 4 damage in. But then this is... Oh, wait. Where did my block on that go? Oh, it's right there. That. Okay, yeah, I like these blocks. Let's do this first. Yeah, I could have gone for a crackback win, I suppose. I didn't do that math. I was just focused on board control again, but maybe should have just figured out the crackback win. They don't, like... If they cast something huge, we have a chump, but I'm not going to mess around. We'll just Spark Harvest this. Did I have an outright win there? I don't know. Oh, Tidebearer, yeah. I was like, oh, that actually keeps them alive. And then we drew the thing that says, nope, never mind. They do not stay alive. All right. Good luck, believe, stick with the game, and go study sources on how to get better at Limited, because you have some room for improvement in your card and play choices, but glad you're in the game. All right. The stream is saved. We get to keep playing. I think I'm going to go get a beverage before we head into game 3. Won't take but a second. I'll be right back. All right. Up against it, looking for gems. See what we can find. Pretty sneaky. This is my cup of Snyder's honey mustard and onion pretzel pieces. Another one of, I have several snacks that nobody else in the house likes, and this is probably my favorite. So nobody eats these but me, so when I come back to them, they're all there. I have 2 teenagers. It's a miracle. I don't understand why we have, like, ants or fruit flies, because I can't believe there's anything to eat anywhere in the house. Operative doesn't seem worth sparking here, so we're just going to Shriek Dive. Here's a question I posed to Facebook one time. I'll pose it to you. You open your fridge, you look inside, and you say to yourself, wow, we have too much milk. How much milk is that for you? In with the any. Luciphage has any. Yeah, reset press is 1 container any size, too much milk. Yeah. 4 gallons, we have a 4 gallon. We're a 5+ gallon. If we had 5 gallons, I'd be like, yeah, okay, then we don't have to buy milk for a while. If we have more than 5 gallons, we have too much milk. And I've got 2 kids. But we all drink, we're a big milk drinking family, for better or for worse. We're basically a gallon a day. So, you know, if we have... Oops. If we have 5 gallons, we're good for the week. Maybe it's not a gallon. It's like 3/4 of a gallon a day. So, like, 5 gallons is like a week of milk. Yeah, we'll just... neither of us are doing much here. Gonna try and get a Tithe Bearer out on 6. I mean, I guess they're playing black-red, so we'll get a Tithe Bearer out on 6, barring them looking at my hand here, tolling.
Time to set the world on fire.
All right, Jaya gets a birdie.
Did you get burned?
Kind of don't care. We could even go... She just makes red sources, do more. Trying to decide if we care about doing anything about Jaya this turn, or we just let her have one of these two if she wants it. I think that's fine. Let's play the giant. We've settled on 1% as our milk of choice. Bags of milk? Huh. With the way things are going in the US, I was eyeing Canada as a destination, but if they have milk in bags there, I'm staying here. I hear you, Dionysus. Let me just say that drinking 1% cow milk is way down on the list of the ways I'm destroying my body. Well, let's start with the Guild Globe. Doesn't the milk get crusty at the end of a 5-gallon jug? I don't, it's not all in one 5-gallon container. 5 separate gallon containers is what I'm talking about. Now let's just play a land and harvest the Manticore. Yeah, thank you for the reminders on Jaya's passive. You all know I need them, so that was well done. Here, though, they don't have death on the Tithe Bearer, so let's go ahead and try to take out Jaya. They can choose. Do you want Jaya down, or do you want your token gone, or what?
Thanks for the match.
I knew you needed my help. That's stuff. Oh, it's you burning.
Ooh, lots to do here. I was going to pay full price on Spark Harvest, but with Tulsimir instead, we're going to harvest away our token.
I am out of here.
And we're going to Tulsimir theirs. Guess we take this since we would rather have them rebuild on a smaller army and have another body than just let this one get bigger. I got Nico Case on speed dial. I don't need her. I don't need to come up to see her. That's a lie. I don't have Nico Case on speed dial, but I could contact her at any time. She's a dear friend of my wife's and a friend of mine by association. Probably just harvest a random 2/2 here just to reduce the number of double blocks they have available. And note, we are facing another aggro, low to the ground deck that's going to want... Oh, not bad, not bad.
Dealing with you. Let me pick your brain for a minute.
Still looking pretty alright here, but we're going to give him some double block options, that's for sure.
Struggling?
Oh, well, there could be that. I still think we probably just go after a creature and ignore Davriel here. So let's take out one of the operatives. And send at face. Giving them the Laptop Reaver to eat if they want, but I'm fine trading an eaten Laptop Reaver for extra damage. Not completely out of it if they drew something. They're digging through their library, it looks like, based on the highlighting, so maybe they got Fallen Aid? Aid the Fallen, rather. And you have a Chandra in there, so they could get Chandra and a spell back. Yeah, this could be a good turn for them if they have the Aid. Might make a game of this. I thought we were crushing, but Aid the Fallen pulls him right back.
My hair is on fire? I know. This is just gonna be bad for you.
Still think we're in pretty good shape, but
All I've left you is
all right, that's awesome. Obviously awesome. And I'm gonna keep ignoring planeswalkers and going face here. In Washington, people delight in driving way under the speed limit only if they also delight in driving in the far left lane. That's my number one complaint about Seattle drivers.
No problem. Fire can't solve.
Man, maybe I'm supposed to be going to the Planeswalker again. Darn. Come on, one more removal spell off the top. Here we go.
Ugh, what a whiner.
All right. If we send in with the two big things, they are forced into a block. They trade the Ogre for the token. They trade the Assailant for the Giant. We play a Silverwing, and we get in for 1 because of the token and the forced blocks, and therefore Silverwing becomes lethal. That seems good. I suppose I should have Silverwinged first to see what they're going to draw. It's possible that changes this plan, but I didn't, so here we are. And by the way, as GRS says, lol, get the hell over if you want to drive at or under the speed limit. That's me now, by the way. In my 20s, I was Mr. Aggro, you know, on the road. But now I'm like, y'all are crazy. I'm gonna be over here with huge space cushions around me, listening to an audiobook, driving at the speed limit on cruise control. Okay, you all stay over there and be crazy. I'm gonna stay over here and be as safe as I freaking can. Nobody can drive. None of us should be allowed to drive. It's the most ridiculous way to come up with to... Oh my gosh. They get a Spark Harvest, but shouldn't be enough unless they get something from Chandra as well. And even then, they need another removal spell so that we're left only with the zombie army. Now they gotta Spark Harvest the Silverwing or they're just dead. When I am in more of a hurry or willing to drive, and I'm not in the far right lane, it's silly to get speeding tickets though.
Ooh, sorry. Not really.
And so for that, oh, man, this is all right. I keep continuing to ignore this, but now maybe I should have gone at Chandra. Am I dumb? Yeah, I'm dumb. I think we just lost because I didn't go at Chandra. I'm busy talking about traffic and I didn't read Chandra.
Sit back and watch it burn.
Empty your mind.
Well, maybe we're not dead, but it was certainly dumb to let Chandra go ultimate.
Loneliness can hurt.
Well, can only put this one on me. But for twice now, I've gone after life total instead of Planeswalker, and it has cost us. Dumb. Feel really bad about that one. Yeah, I think I do fine in that game off stream. I was just distracted and chatting. Well, yeah, it doesn't matter that I drew 3 lands and failed to recover from the misplay. What happened after the misplay does not change the definition of whether or not it was a misplay. Unless you thought, oh yeah, no, like it was totally correct to do that. You can't let Chandra deal 7 to you and cast 7 things for free or whatever, right? Didn't you already punt Dionysus? Didn't you start that? How many times do you want to punt? Now listen, Dionysus. Settle down. You get once. What's the second punt? Why did you enter that twice, Dionysus? Explain yourself. Explain what my second punt is. I'm gonna start punting Dionysus. No, I'm gonna. He gets to have it. He can call anything he wants that's legitimately even just slightly suboptimal a punt if he wants, but you can't just punt for nothing. There's no punt there. Not your second one. All right, am I cutting anything for this, or am I going to punt sideboarding? I might just run this back. Yeah, this is fine. Oh no, I'm fine. I'm having fun with Dionysus, but I'm fine. Again, if I do believe I would have played that cleaner if I were not streaming. Mainly, I really get down on myself when I make mistakes that I really feel like I should have caught. You know, that had nothing to do with anything except my brain not being as good at Magic as I want it to be. I'm not. I'm fake tilting. I'm fine. Yeah, the punt was real for Chandra, absolutely. But then you entered it twice. That's all I was talking about. 1 exclamation point punt per punt, Dionysus. All right, I kind of forgot what we were playing. I will, if we go to, hopefully we go to game 3 and I can bring in the 2/2. Let's go ahead and toll here. Pyrohelix is actually not that great after we finish with a toll, so we'll let them have that, and we'll take Jaya from them. We could offer this for the Assailant as well. Depends on what we're thinking, whether we want our army token to get big and be a real threat. If we don't, they probably just take it out with the Pyrohelix anyway. I'll offer this up. GRS doesn't want to attack. I'm fine with trading there because it just means that the Amass then creates a 1/1 that we can use for Spark Harvest or whatever. Although you can use either side of the Reaver for the Spark Harvest, you know, as long as you're getting value out of the other side. All right, they did as expected on that front. Here we have a free attack. We're going to save our Spark Harvest. We'll use one of them on that turret ogre, but we want to make sure to have some defense against Chandra if she shows up. Sorry about that. Just saying, Davriel, playing around Davriel is no big deal because I feel like even if they drew and played Davriel in that spot, it wouldn't have been that devastating for us. And then this is great because we get to use our creature only removal instead of our possible planeswalker removal. And what are we getting? Really, we want to be able to cast Tulsimir if we find him, so let's take the planes. Auto Tapper screwed me, huh? How's that? Ah. Yeah, if we're coming into play untapped. You okay there, Deuce? Somebody check on Deuce. I think he had a stroke on his keyboard. Or they, I don't know Deuce's pronouns. Hey, Kitty, can you hit the sub button? There's... Oh, wait, they're already subscribed. Never mind. Yeah, like this, we've got... I mean, if nothing changes on this board, we win, and we have an answer to a change in the board in hand, so they've got to come up with 2 changes to this board. Actually, I guess if they kill our Shriek Diver, the Spark Harvest doesn't do anything to stop that, so they could 1-card stabilize by getting rid of the Shriek Diver.
It's best to call a pro.
Okay.
Here's how it's done.
Well, 1 for Jaya. Although maybe that doesn't matter. I guess it does. Then we're going to hang back, see if we can find something else to make the zombie army less of a threat. I'm going to take this hit. Ooh, if they attack with other stuff, that's not great. Well, I guess that's somewhat free attacks. Sure. Do this. Come on, help us out, deck. Probably a land, but getting a 2-power army token is very good for us here. Yeah, we can take one more hit from the 3/3 army. Gotta be a little careful here. They can go pretty wide, obviously. They're not showing that right now. Alright, you're going for that, huh? Well, I don't know what they drew, but I'm going to make them have to have drawn something here. Other than that, we'll happily just take a 0 for 1 and take 4 damage. Come on, non-land. Some help, please. Okay, now we probably have to use our Spark Harvest, which is stinky. But you do what you gotta do, and we will see what we can do from here. Need some help off the top. Don't think we have the cards for that, Prof. Maybe you went back and looked and you found a build that actually accomplishes that, but... if we survive this match somehow, we'll go take a look. I'll sandbag a land. Can't afford to Spark Reap anything that's not threatened with death. We're really looking for Tulsimir or Tidebearer Giant or Plane-Wide Celebration. And the rest of our deck is pretty unimportant. I guess there's the Laptop Behemoth and some more Spark Harvest or whatever. But we're down to a pretty low count on game-relevant cards, actually. So as much as I want some help here from the deck, it's not like we actually have a lot of help in the deck. I think we are pretty far behind here, given that we're just barely stable and we're drawing to a couple of thin, powerful cards that if we don't find, we'll probably succumb to Oppo going wide. Yay for the celebration. We get back Reaver and Shriek Diver. Shriek Diver hopefully just kind of gets us there. And then, do we need to do any proliferate? No, proliferating would be a, nah. Okay, so we're getting screwed by auto tap, first of all. Two, 2/2, and return. And now we have enough go wide with an addition to a hasty Shriek Diver next turn that we should be able to get there next turn unless they find something, because they have 4 to our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7. So even if they drop a 5th, we get 2 through and deal lethal. Yeah, removal is plentiful. Win cons, not so much. But that's enough for me. I think we've got this. I'm going to assume we do, or make Oppo prove me wrong. Two in the air. Anything else gets by on the ground, and we're good. Well, if they do something about Diver, they've still got to block, like, everything else. Like, they just end up with no board. All right. So here's the deck that was suggested by someone in chat that is actually doable. I don't know if it's correct, but something like this was suggested. But I think if we do, I may look at that for if we go to another match. But actually, maybe in Soren's Thirst for Spark Harvest, because of the nature of the low drops they're playing. And this is not great. Actually, let's take away the one Shriek Diver. And actually, I'm going to take out one toll. Maybe even, probably should take out 2. Let's drop a toll and add a Shriek Diver. Did I screw up? What did I do? Reset press. Oh, I forgot the Triumph. Gonna have to win without it, I guess. Drawing the land for it. But we'll keep this. Great that our aggressive opponent on the play has not come up with a turn 2 creature. White. Someone said the Stinger's not great. It's not great, but it's cheaper than... I just wanted to get creatures at the low end to face what we expected to be a pretty fast creature rollout from Oppo. They haven't pulled that off here, but that's what we were worried about. As it is, looking like we get to do whatever we want. Yeah, I'm going to risk New Horizons here. It may... The operative may get burned out from underneath us, but we're going to try. I mean, they've shown Pyrohelix. Maybe I shouldn't. We've seen Pyrohelix. Like, I could just go with the Silver Wing. Let's attack first and see if they do anything. Yeah, I'm going to go Silver Wing. I take it back. But if we do New Horizons, we can get Giant next turn. I'm waffling here, but I'm going to risk it. Because if this doesn't work out, we still set ourselves up for Giant next turn. But I feel like we may just get Pyrohelix here. But if so... Okay, we didn't. And I was like, if so, that's not the end of the world anyway. Yeah, I could have Silver Wing to double spell next turn, but I really like early Tidebearer here. I think that's great. Am I crazy? Didn't we see... Wasn't it like straight red-black for the first 2 games? What is going on here?
You and I are gonna take them, and this is just gonna be bad for you.
I can say that to you, Chandra. A couple ways we can take out Chandra. Spark Harvest, or we could Shriek Dive and attack both, and then they don't have a way to stop the death of Chandra, even with chumps. But I think if we... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we don't have a... Well, our only 2 spell options are like... We can do a Stinger, Hasty Diver. Yeah, I mean, we can take 5, though, right? It's just us. So it goes, right? I'm not worried about the 5 damage. I just want to get there. I think we're just... I'm not going to overthink this. I should just Spark Harvest Chandra for full price and attack Oppo.
This is a waste of my time.
I think that's strong. And then next turn we get... If we get a land, we can do Silver Wing, Hasty Diver. If we don't, we get Stinger, Hasty Diver. I think this looks good for us. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This would take 4. And then we could do this for 5, 6, and this for 7. I think that's a nice sequence. We don't have to harvest here, but it just... Like, what do they do if we do that? They have they're so up against it. I'm gonna do it. They need a sweeper of some kind to get out of this. They showed us the one, you know, the army sweeper, but they would need to, like... if they do the army sweeper here, we lose everything but the tithe bearer. So that's not... That might save them for a little bit, but then they have to block the tithe bearer. And there it is. Hopefully this is enough pressure. We'll find out. Well, you don't even get... We might as well... I guess it didn't really matter. Maybe give them a reason to not play the toll, but... They can survive here. Toll makes one creature, and then if they can come up with another one, they got at least a couple of chumps. Woo! Alright. Despite punting away a match earlier, we have at least found our way to the 2-win, magical 2-win gem threshold. Or wait, are we at 3 wins? What's going on here? What is that saying? Okay. It was moving forward as though somehow we did. Alright, well, I feel good about getting some gems back. Now let's take a look... The suggestion was that basically 2 Chandra and a Grim Initiate and like another Toll and another Shriek Diver and a Soren's Thirst, like whatever, we could fill out this however we want, could wholesale replace the green and blue and just be a heavy black with a touch of Chandra. Set Rocks is looking for new memes. I have not seen their concert tour with the Dio hologram, and I'm not interested in paying to see holograms of people sing. That's ridiculous. 1 drops on the splash. Oh, no, we're talking about replacing it and being black-red. And we'd have to play significant red just to support the double red in Chandra anyway. So I'm just wondering if there's any... Does anybody think that's the most powerful way to go with this? Swap out the green for the Chandra power? I don't know. I admit the green is not great here. We're really leaning on Tulsimir and Plain Wide as the only reason we're in green. And given that, you know, Chandra is just as good as those two, so you could definitely argue that. We'll take a look. And maybe you can even leave the Triumph in. You could leave the double globe. Still don't like the Initiate. I almost want to just... I'd rather just have like an operative and then mono black with Chandra and Jace's Triumph. Or maybe you just cut the Triumph. Then... The Triumph is almost free. Is it worth grinding coins and turning them into gems to buy cosmetics? Well, you can't turn coins into gems without playing ranked draft. So hope you like ranked draft if that's your plan, to turn coins into gems. And at that point, I don't know, how much do you like cosmetics? Hey, Tim Nose, thanks. We'll see you. Yeah, it's almost free, but not quite. Can probably use Chandra off 6 mountains and 2 guild globes, and then we can leave the island for that as well. 8, 9, that's 14, 15. Yeah, we don't really need the sprout. We're leaning on the harvests here in this if we do this version. And in this case, see, it's like the Triumph can play with both globes, but now I'm kind of wanting to cut a globe. I'm going to cut Thirst. Yeah, that's fair. See, that makes me just want to do this. Well, I don't know if this is better. I'm gonna make a poll. Quick 20-second poll. Green or red? I'm gonna go to the bathroom while you decide. All right, so we're going to run with the red build, but let's see if... reading your thoughts here. All right, we can put in a initiate, and yeah, we could take a 1 Thirst out. All right, well, we'll capture this one. And we can always look at the original deck and revert to it in sideboarding if we feel we need to. It's a little bit weaker, you know, we're running like Duskmantle Operative and stuff on some level. We can put a globe in, I suppose, over that. Nah, we'll run this, though, and give it a try. Chandra to the rescue. Looks like a fine start here. Missing a 2, but hard to complain about the 3, 4, 5. Gideon, you say. We do have a Spark Harvest. Oh, we can use that on any of that stuff. Let's just get rid of Gideon. Pain in the butt, Gideon. We also had Shriek Diver. Maybe we should just let him have Gideon. We had some tools to deal with Gideon. Spark Harvest away the Grizzly for the cost of our army token. And then Toll, I think, or I could Shriek Dive, maybe give him one more. Toll or Diver. We could have argued for Chandra, but I like mopping up this board a bit before we drop Chandra. I guess let's take the Toll. It's not going to get any better, right? I mean, unless they draw something they can't, specifically that they can't cast. And you can have the old Charm Stray. I'd like a land for the Behemoth. No land for the Behemoth. Let's see. If we play Chandra, she goes to 5 loyalty, and we have nothing to block, though. That's the problem. I'm going to keep playing this aggro until we can get a 5th land and protect Chandra a bit with a Behemoth first. I'll leave this back to trade with the Lifelinker. Awkward rules text on the wolf for us this game. We had to make that block. Now, though... Do we... I guess we just have to stay back. And we play Chandra. Go to 5 on her. Maybe she gets to tack down to 1. But then we do get to untap with her and play next turn and maybe get some extra value. So... yeah, good call. A Spark Harvest would be the perfect draw off the top here.
No problem fire can't solve.
Nope. Yeah, Oppo doing what I did and going for me. Makes sense given that we don't have anything to block the wolf yet, but we're going to get 2 shots now. 2 shots at a wolf answer.
Sit back and watch it burn.
Thanks. I'll do this and make him at least attack. All 5 sparks and all 5 sparks and 1 Soren's Thirst even. I kind of want to switch back just to throw Oppo for a loop. I want the extra thirst for the wolf. It's true, Prof, right? Perhaps if I had respected the wolf more, I thought in a long game I'd want the grizzly to go, but the wolf ended up killing us, so we'll remember that for future removal choices. Yeah, but I didn't even really talk about it. It was worth discussing. Wolf is a real threat when we're not putting up a lot of things to block it. Like, we just don't have anything except big armies and laptop behemoths in this build. Which could be a reason not to, but I think we just need to remember to point our removal at wolves, that we have difficulty with them. And then Shriek Diver maybe is cuttable here. Maybe one of these tolls. I'll cut a toll. That's a good idea too, AV. Getting our army up to wolf blocking levels. Let's run this, though. Of course, Soren's Thirst proving difficult to cast even when we have 10 swamps, but we'll get there. It's not results-oriented thinking to say we should have killed the wolf because we lost to it. It is the example of there's bad results-oriented thinking, which is like, I'm just going to blindly follow the result of this thing without really thinking about it. But if we say to ourselves, oh, right, the grizzly seemed like the better long-term thing to get rid of, but actually, the wolf was the more dangerous card in the matchup. You know, that's just that's just reasoning it through. I don't want to use a Spark Harvest on a Charmed Stray, though. Yep, I'm just talking about results-oriented in general. You pressed a button. Didn't matter you were joking or not. But yes.
Let me lead the charge into darkness. I will lend you my strength.
Gideon can do his thing for another turn. We'll just Spark Harvest it for the full 5 next turn. Well, we saw Gideon in game 1. We just told it.
Your light will cleave the darkness.
Huh. All right.
Another day, villain.
I like the thought of Gideon holding a cat, looking into its eyes and saying, I will lend you my dinner. I don't know. To be fair, it really charmed the pants off of Gideon. There's a wolf that we can't block. I'm gonna start here, though. Not blocking, and so we're attacking. I could sack the operative to the Dreadmalkin to be able to block it, but then it trades. That's not good enough. We're going to kill one of them, and then hopefully eventually the other one. Well, kids, it's like we're flooding out of this one a little too much. That's what I mean. You want your decks to have good removal, but deck flooded with removal is not necessarily a good deck. It can be very hard to win with a heavy removal deck that floods out. Even in the slightest. I mean, they only have 5 land to our 7, but obviously the difference between, you know, give us trade a mountain and a swamp for 2 action spells, and we're totally in this. As it is, we're figuring out where to throw our Spark Harvest. I guess it just has to be on the wolf. It just has to be. If we draw Plane-Wide Celebration, that could get us out of this. Right? I think that's right. You see what I did there, Bruce? If we drew Plane-Wide Celebration, it would mean I misclicked. Well, unfortunately, we just exposed... Well... even if we draw a Spark Harvest here, we're done for. Alright. Well, it's afternoon anyway. Not sure what that says about red deck versus green deck. Both decks had problems. But I suppose 2-2 is pretty fair with this one. It wasn't that great of a deck. But we will get our packs. I will be happy that the worst thing that's happened to me today is I merely went 2-2 in a match of Magic. Or in a Magic event. That's pretty sweet. That's a good day.
I have faced worse than the likes of you.
I don't know what you all have planned. I'm gonna go help my parents with they're doing some... My dad and stepmom are doing a photo project on computer that is now baffling them. So I'm gonna go swoop in and be parental tech support, which is one of my primary roles in my family. And then I'm gonna try and sell some Magic cards. Like my sponsor, Card Kingdom, sells Magic cards. You can go to their store through the affiliate link down below. You can also go to my store through the link down below. I want to thank Card Kingdom for their support, and I want to thank all of you for hanging out with me today.